Now we're ready to start using Simple Angular Server, and the first thing I'm going to do is change directory into the folder that contains the index.html file we created a few videos ago. And it's located in Documents, then in Resume Builder, then in Lessons, then in Setup, and finally in My Folder. I hit Enter, type ls to ensure that it's the correct folder, which it is. And then I'm going to clear my screen and type Angular Server. This is how we use Simple Angular Server. It's simply a command line prompt that we type, Angular Server, all lowercase, all one word, press enter, and it spins up our Simple Angular Server. And we can see that it's running by this little message here that says Angular Server running, and then it has some information about our Angular Server. To verify that this is running, we're going to go to our browser and actually take a look at what it's serving up. So I have a new browser open, and I'm going to go to localhost 3000. We can see I've done this a few times before already, but localhost 3000. And when I get to localhost 3000, what I'm going to see is that it serves up that hello world index.html file we created. So that's pretty cool, and I'm sure you have questions about kind of how this works, which I'll explain in the next video, but there's one particular thing I want to point out that can be quite a gotcha when you first start working with Simple Angular Server. So let's go back into our command prompt and I'll explain what that gotcha is. So we're back here in our command prompt, and the first thing that we'll do is kill our server by typing Control-C. It's the same in both Windows and Mac. Control-C to kill the Simple Angular Server. Now what we're going to do is change directory into our Images folder. And in our Images folder, we'll list out all of the files that we have and see that there are no files there. Let's clean our command prompt up by typing clear, and then let's run our Angular Server one more time from this folder. Now it looks the same, right? It's saying that Angular Server is running, and let's go back into our browser to see what it spits out this time. From our existing page, localhost 3000, I'm just going to refresh the browser, and we get this error. It says error eno something, no such file or directory, stat whatever, the file path of where we're at. And then it ends in index.html. And so it's kind of strange because in our images folder, we listed out all the files that are there, and there weren't any files. So why is it talking about index.html being in our images folder? Well, the reason is that Simple Angular Server serves up index.html. That's the only file that it's programmed to serve up. So if there's no index.html file in the folder that we run Simple Angular Server from, it's going to spit out this error. So whenever it spits out this error, it means that either we're in the wrong directory and we need to change directories to the appropriate one that holds our index.html, or we haven't yet created index.html. So be conscientious of that and be aware of that in case this error pops up. But that's it for how to use Simple Angular Server. Kind of as the name implies, it's really quite simple. And in the next video, we'll talk about more of the mechanics of what it's doing behind the scenes.